Okay, so welcome back to another exciting episode of... Now, actually, hang on a minute. This is the last episode that we are pre-recording before you have a baby.
Yeah.
So, although all of these episodes will be coming out once you've had the baby, this is pre-baby.
Yeah.
So anything we say now is pre-baby, and you don't know actually if you're having a boy or a girl or what. So this is still really exciting. So I just wanted to mark that actually when people listen to this, you will then be a mum of two and will know what you've got. But anyway, yes. So back to the episode. I get distracted, you know me. We are so excited because we've got the fabulous Stephanie from Stephanie Grace UK.
Yeah. Are we going to talk all about stationery today?
We are. This is so exciting. The first time that we've had stationery on the podcast. And not only have we got you, Steph, we've got your beautiful stationery with us. Which is gorgeous. I love stationery. So nice. I'm such a stationery geek.
Yeah.
I love it. I was always the one with the pencil case at
school.
Always.
Custom pen.
Yeah, different one every term.
Episode 1. Yeah. Let's just not go back there though.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, we've got all the branding. We love it. So hello, Stephanie.
Hi.
Are you Stephanie or Steph?
Don't mind either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I used to be so meticulous about it. I hated being called Steph when I was in school.
Yeah.
Teachers used to take the mick out of me with it, but no, I'll take anything.
Oh, you'll take anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
click. Answer to any of it.
Yeah,
I think Steph is our longest travelling guest.
You are. We need to get you some sort of medal for this, Steph.
Yeah, we'll talk about our crown, like a little.
Yeah, we can do crown.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the Cotswolds.
Thank you.
And where have you come from?
Manchester.
Oh wow, so a little bit different then.
Yeah, very
less industrial.
Yeah, well, I'm just outside of Manchester, so I'm kind of like quite countryside. So a bit like where I've driven through today.
Yeah. The sheep look the same everywhere, let's face it.
The sheep and the cows are all the same. Yeah.
Well, it's lovely to have you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about your kind of stationery and the kind of stationery that you offer?
Yeah, so I have like two sections to our business. So I've got like a semi-custom collections, which are like the more affordable side of stationery. So like pre-designed, and you can sort of update them with colours as you see fit, and it's all included in like a set price.
Great.
Or I have bespoke service as well. So I basically cover any style you could think. I don't really box myself into one section.
Yeah.
As you could probably see there, I've got quite classic and I've got quite modern stuff as well. So yeah, they're sort of my two sides. So I try and draw in as many people as possible with loads of different price brackets.
That is so good, because I think when you go to wedding fairs, you know, you see so much and it's so overwhelming. And then when people find a stationer, it might not be something that originally you first think of. And then as soon as you start talking to a stationer, you realise how important it is.
100%.
How much stationery goes into a wedding.
Yeah.
So actually then, if it's something that people maybe hadn't considered, knowing that you've got, you know, like you say, semi-custom?
Yeah, semi-custom, yeah.
That's so good, because actually it does make it more affordable for people.
Yeah, well, I mean, the past few weeks I've literally been doing back-to-back wedding shows like every weekend. So I've had that conversation with so many people where it's like, they'll come to me and they're like, oh yeah, we need some invitations. But then they start looking and it's like, oh my God, there's so much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't have to have everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's whatever suits you.
Yeah.
But I do always explain the two sides, because I can appreciate that it's overwhelming to look at and it's like you don't even know where to start. So it's like I'll usually put people into a bracket of, have you got a colour palette? Are you more classic? Are you more relaxed? You know, try and get the vibe of them as a couple first, and then point them in directions of things that I've got available.
So
and then
good.
Hopefully can then get them a quote across from that, really.
That's so good. And actually then they still get that service of coming to a stationer. They don't have to, you know, go online and try and find something that's, you know, actually not going to be
time
fit
of like
for what
making stuff. And
exactly.
It's so time consuming. Try, and if you know, some people aren't naturally creative anyway.
Yeah.
So to be able to give that to somebody and they can just come up with some really cool designs.
Or, I will say I definitely get a mix of people like saying that they do have like a bit of a creative cell in their brain, but they don't want the stress of it, so they'd rather hand it over. Or there are people who come to me being like, I can't do this. Take it off
I need
me.
all the help.
And sometimes they have literally no idea what they want. But by the end of, say, a 5-10 minute conversation, I've got there with a style that they like.
That's
whether
great.
it be something that I've pointed out to them to be like, right, if you're not that precious about it, but you know you want something in this realm, this would probably be my best option for you. And this is how we can change it to suit your theme.
That's so good.
So what should couples consider as like the top things for stationery, like which items essential? Are kind of essential and which are kind of like you'd say are nice to haves?
So I will be controversial and say that I don't think everybody needs save the dates. We were having a little discussion about this before, that I think people are are kind of not panicking, but they're sending them out themselves and not really thinking too much about it. So they don't really ask me for them anymore. So I don't actually talk about them that much when I'm at shows. But they are there and available if you need them. But I think if you are far enough in advance and you are wanting to hand off to me for invitations, a really nice, memorable invitation package is really what you need. Whether it is just one card that's statement, like some of the things here, or a full package, it's completely up to you how excessive you go with that. But I do think that is like a non-negotiable, is having that really memorable invitation, speaks to you and your personalities as a couple, tells your story, whether it be as excessive or as minimal as you want. And then I think when it comes to on the day, I think signage is a big thing, letting people know what's going on the day.
Definitely.
There are different ways you can do that, because I do large format signage, but it's a costly thing to do, and something that you might not use again. So I do have the option of doing double-sided signage, so you can sort of switch it halfway through the day.
That's really good. So is that where it would be like a welcome sign and then like a seating
plan on the back?
Seating plan.
That's good. Because obviously you're welcome, especially if you're getting married in the same venue. Like the same space. You sort of have your welcome sign for the ceremony, and then you can just get somebody from the venue to just go. Flip it around and nobody know the difference.
Or make it a thing and get like, on that Bruce play cards, right? They used to get someone
higher or lower.
Get somebody in and be like, right, okay,
Brucey
absolutely. Be like, the reception has started. Turn it around.
That's totally what I do. I get the MC to do it.
Are you sitting on table 5 or 4? Higher or lower?
Exactly.
Let's find out.
But so I definitely think signage is a big thing. And
absolutely.
And it's something that people do actually want to invest in now as well.
It kind of like sets the mood, doesn't it? With all the styling and everything to go with it.
Yeah, it really, really does. Definitely.
Exactly. And then I think obviously your name cards and place settings, that kind of thing.
Of course.
I remember making my name cards for our wedding, and it took me so long. And then I looked at them and I'm like, they look shit.
What, like as in writing them yourself? Oh no, I wouldn't do that.
And then I ended up finding someone and paying to
After
have
you'd
them
written
done.
them all out.
And I was like, why did I do this?
And then you're like, I actually don't like my own handwriting.
I was like, why didn't I just do this in the first place?
I think some people do want to do themselves because they are seen as like a little personal favour for people to take away, so like they kind of want it to be from them. So I do understand that. And I've helped people out recently by doing like blank place cards, but they're sort of like layered designs with like wax seals and stuff, but left the actual name tag blank.
That's nice.
And then they've done the text for them. Like I don't mind doing that. I do help DIY couples out, so that's absolutely fine by me. Like I did some recently. There's a couple getting married next summer in the south of France, so they're having quite like an intimate wedding, but they wanted some place cards, but her granddad is a calligrapher, so she wanted the place cards to match the invitations, but then was letting him do the calligraphy, so send them to him to do prior to it. But I think your place setting's really important, just obviously so people know where they're sitting. It's very obvious. But, when I started my station business, I started with semi-custom menu templates, but that also included the name tag, so it was the more affordable way of having both in one rather than getting separate pieces. So they were really popular when I started, so I think that they're a really good addition
menus
to the table.
as well, I guess. Are they quite an essential item?
They are an essential, but you can also just have communal menus for the table.
That's good.
Everybody forgets what they're eating. By the time they've RSVP'd and then gone, they don't know what they're eating anymore.
This is so true.
But I think it just depends on the type of like meal you're having. If everybody's having individual options, then it's good to have them there, and also for the waiting staff to know any allergies and things like that. True. They're handy to have on the table without having to actually interact with the guest if they're not sat down. But communal menus are good enough as well.
Absolutely. Then they can share them. We had books, so ours was like a bit of a secret garden theme, like on the book and just generally the flowers and things. So we had books on the table and we stuck a menu in all of them, so they can just share it round and have a look. But I think, like you say, menus are something that is so important, because not only, I guess, you've got the allergy side of things, but also then you've got people that are like, oh, okay, I know that definitely I'm not a big fan of that part of the menu, so I might be sharing that or whatever. Like, I think people just like to know in advance, don't they, what they're going to be eating.
It's just handy to have. But I think they're sort of like an essential. But I do think that anything else is sort of seen as a luxury, but they tell the story of you as a couple. Like, they bring out your personality, the little sides of things. I don't necessarily think that table numbers are that much of an essential, because usually dresses can sometimes provide them, like in different formats. So I wouldn't say that you need to order them, but other good finish touches, I think, are the vow books at the minute.
Oh, 100% agree.
I thought you might
absolutely.
like.
Yeah,
that's
next to
Laura. They're so pretty.
They're absolutely beautiful. The thing is, again, in that whole affordable thing, I will always give my couples the option. If they want me to print something for them, I will. Like, you know, if they haven't got a certain stationer. But I do always say to my couples, if you've got a stationer, speak to them about your vow books, because actually they'll match everything then, and you're going to keep them. Like, if I make them for them, which I'm more than happy to because of a cost thing, you know, I'm like, look, I still print some nice, you know, plain white ones, but I mean, look at these. They're absolutely stunning.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, they're like 2 new ones I've been working on, but they're currently like the plain ones. So if the couple say still want to write them inside, they can do, but I also can print them.
Yeah.
And I was saying before that I sort of package and keep them separate, so even though they arrive in the same order, you know that there's no secret's going to be spilled.
Right, yeah, because that's always the thing. I always wonder, if they are having them printed by a stationer, how do they keep them separate? So do they email you separately? Oh, that's clever.
So whoever orders, like, it's usually the bride, but like they'll order to me and I'll just say, like, look, you email me that one, get your partner to email me the other one, and then I will send them a copy to approve to make sure everything's right and all the paragraph settings okay, so they know that when they're reading it they're not going to trip over the words.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then they'll just say, yeah, go ahead, and then I just package them separately.
Oh, that's
nice.
so good. And that's the thing, I just think there's something that you're going to keep forever. Like the ones that I print, if they are using mine, I put them in their card box so they can read back through them. But I think if they're having stationery and stationery is important to them, there's nothing like vow books that match everything. Because you keep it all in a box then, and then when you want to have a look at it all together, it all just looks beautiful. And these with the wax seal and everything.
Yeah. Have you hand make literally the wax seals and everything? Yeah.
It's where I started the business. I was doing them as like crafty purposes, and then I stumbled on TikTok one day, this American stationer. I'm trying to remember her name now. Amy, I think she's called Amy. She was going viral for her wax sealing videos, but I realised she did really luxury, high end, like fine art stationery. And I started picking her brains about it, and she was so nice to me, like just chatting to me and like giving me like little tips and tricks and advice and all that kind of thing. And then I started, and she still supports me now, and I've never met her, obviously. Like I say,
we love you, Amy.
I think she's in Canada actually, not America, but yeah, she's amazing. So she just sort of gave me that idea with the wax seals, and it all just stemmed.
They look so nice though. It's always something so special, isn't it, when you've got those on there, and the colour schemes and everything, and like you say, the style. I'm just going to hold some up so we can actually have a look as we're talking about them. Hold on, it's always trying to get it in focus.
Rich.
Help me, Rich. Where do I need to go? Back.
Cover my face.
Because it's white.
Oh no.
Sorry, Steph.
It's alright.
Hang on, let's try this one.
Put it in front of Steph's face.
Let me
sorry,
shall I just duck under the table?
Oh, no, look, it's my hand modelling career and my nails that need redoing. Sorry. The rebirth. But yeah, look at those. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous. They're so, so pretty. And then size-wise, do you do vow books in different sizes?
At the moment,
if people are writing really long ones.
Yeah, so at the moment, I've just been doing the A6 one, but I've been doing a second insert.
Oh, that's nice. Yes, they've got a couple of pages.
Yes. Yeah, they have the option. Like, I've only got 2 styles that you can like straight up buy, but you can obviously ask them to match. But yeah, they have the option of having the second insert. So
yeah, that's nice.
If they don't know which one to order because they might go over the limit, I've got like a character limit that I know, so I can say like, right, if it's over this, go for this version.
Yeah, that's and that's again the other thing with the stationer, like myself, I don't know any of that. I literally do an A5 book for them and I make it fit so it can be whatever font size. Like, you know, I'll make it look easy to read, but I'm not a professional stationer, whereas if they're having a professional stationer, they are going to look immaculate and just be perfect.
Yeah, well, it was like a couple that ordered them a few weeks ago. They were like, we both are blind as bats, but we don't want to wear our glasses on the day. So they were like, can you like make sure it's massive? So they literally had it across 2 pages, but it was only a couple, couple paragraphs. But they were such sweet vows. But I was reading them and I was just like, this is massive. But I was like, can you read it? Let me know. And they were like, yeah, it's fine.
That's so nice. But honestly, it's such a big part of the ceremony, and they look so beautiful. And the photos that you get are just gorgeous. And I do think the A6 are just such a beautiful size because they they fit perfectly in the palm of your hand, but actually then you can still hold each other's hand if you need to. Like,
exactly.
Oh, they're gorgeous. And do you love reading the vows before? Because that's my favourite
I do
bit.
actually. It's really fun. I've never really done it before until this year. Like when I started like offering them, and it's just, some of them obviously are really classic and very sweet, but then some of them go like proper in depth into their personalities, and I'm sort of getting to know them. So even if that's the only thing that they order from me, I still get to know a little bit about them, and it's very sweet.
That's
honestly
so nice.
The vows. Oh, beautiful.
And then you've got a couple of other bits here.
Yes.
So magazines have been really popular. This is how we found you on Etsy.
Sorry about the focus.
Steph actually did our original promotion for season 1.
And this
magazines
was so cool. So talk to us about these. What do people need to have in their wedding newspaper?
So my ones I've got like a fixed template. So I've got a 4-page version and an 8-page version. So it depends how bulky you want it for the day. But the layout there is sort of fixed, but you can mix and match from each one if you wanted more games in there, if you wanted like more information on you as a couple, or any information about the venue. But in that one, you've got the main front page, which has got your wedding party on, which people are loving at the minute, having the wedding party included.
That's good, because then, like you say, even if you don't know them personally, you know them by name.
I sometimes get a shout out in that bit, and I love it. I've kept all the ones where it says like celebrant, and I'm like, oh, it's
Laura
me.
Crockett.
I keep them all in my drawer.
So speaking of the suppliers bit, on the back of mine, I've featured a supplier thank you.
So
anyone that's brought your day to life, you can put that on there, which then obviously helps the suppliers. But it's one of them that I just thought it'd be a nice touch.
Give us a little shout out.
Yes.
Yeah, really nice.
That's Nicola. Shout out Nicola. I love this so much.
So and then inside you've got like your timeline of the day. So you've got like equally useful things as well as fun things just to pass the time. You know, like in that lull between like the ceremony and then having like the food.
Yeah. Yes, we've got like a crossword. What else is in there, Laura?
So we've got fun facts, which I love this. Today marks 1,676 days together. We've collected 27 fridge magnets from major cities. We've gone on a ski trip every year since Patty learned how to ski. Our cats like to bird watch, so we've decided to take this up as a hobby too.
I love that.
Oh, that's brilliant. And then you've got the timeline in there, so good. A little bit about their love story, which is beautiful.
Helpful.
Especially as well if they're not having a celebrant, if they're having a church or a registrar. That's so nice. They get to put a bit of that personality in there. Helpful directions, evening food, disposable cameras, the bar, the cake, cards and gifts. Oh, it's lovely. And then a hashtag at the bottom as well.
Yeah, and then on the back you've just got a little bit about their honeymoon, like where they're going to be going on honeymoon. A bit about taxis.
Cool. Taxis. That's one that I know wedding venues will probably appreciate.
Yeah, exactly.
So gorgeous.
But then like the bulkier one's got like, I think there's a word search in that one. There's like guest awards, so like they'll nominate people, like say so who's travelled the farthest for the wedding and shout them out, or who was the first to RSVP, things like that.
Really cool.
Yeah, and they've got like nominate your guests, so it's like who's going to be the most drunk by the end of the night, and you know, it's just things to break the ice and fill that time, and especially like if you're on the guests on a table where they don't know who they're sat with as well. It's just something to, you know, just bond over.
It's really nice. But I think as well, I see a lot of them on chairs in the ceremony. Yes. And I think that's a great time as well, because guests will be seated 10 or 15 minutes before a ceremony anyway. So they've got that time with something to do while they're waiting for the ceremony. Especially if it's running late, things like that. It's really, really good. Yeah, exactly. And then I wanted to ask about your invitations. So obviously you spoke about the invites where you said you've got like the one pager, or like what would you call this officially? Yeah,
so that would just be the main invite card, but with double-sided printing. So instead of having a separate details card, you've got it on the back about like gifts or RSVP and that kind of thing.
And then you've got this one. So hang on, I'm going to hold these up because I feel like when we're talking about them, it's annoying if you can't see them. Right, so this is the one. Oh my god,
you're getting good at this.
No, you're getting good at it. I'm so embarrassed. My nail tech will be like, "How dare you show them off like that?" So it's that one. That's the double-sider. And then this one. So talk to me about this one.
So that was a bespoke set. So that one is basically main invite card, details card, and RSVP, but all completely bespoke, all double-sided printing. It's probably one of the most expensive sets I've ever done, if I'm completely honest with you, because it's got the white ink, it's got silver foil printing as well.
And then over Steph's face.
Yeah, and then had like the matching envelope and liner with the illustration as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a nice little touch as well.
Yeah. So
really nice.
Oh no, it's not happening. So talk to me then about you were saying about the foil printing.
Yes.
So where are the kind of hidden costs that people need to think about if they are planning invites and things like that, where are the bits that they could save if they chose an alternative? Like, talk to us about those.
Yeah, so I think anything like print finishes are all sort of added extras that will elevate the invitation, but they aren't like always necessary. Like this invite would still work without the custom cut shape and without the silver foil. It would still look just the same, but they wanted to bring that in because they're having a Christmas wedding. They wanted that sparkle somewhere.
The silver's gorgeous though as well. It really elevates it.
It is, and it's completely obviously within people's budgets, but I wouldn't necessarily say that anything is a hidden cost, because
that's good.
At the point of when it came to like designing this one, they obviously wanted a bespoke thing, which they knew they were going to have to invest money and time in.
Of course.
But when I gave them all the initial designs and drafts, there was options without the foil, there was options without the shapes. They came to me saying they wanted arches. So obviously they did make an appearance, but it was how much we did that with. So obviously we've done like 2 here, but we could have done 3. But and it would have been an extra cost on that. But with all the drafts that I send, like I might send like 4 or 5 different like whole concepts of an invitation suite, and the outline cost will be there of like the individual package. So this is how much one invitation set would be worth, times it by the quantity you want. And that is what you're looking at. And they could range quite drastically. But I can always sense, like when I'm talking to a couple straight away, like what their budget is going to be. Of course. And I know what things they're going to look out for. Like some people aren't bothered about the print finishes, aren't bothered about the cut shapes, but they might want some illustration. So the illustration can sometimes, you know, be an extra fee, depending on the style that you want. Like for this one here, like with these doodles, I've started adding this. People have started loving this.
Gorgeous. I love these doodles. They're beautiful.
So I've started just basically offering a flat fee, and you get up to 20 doodles. And you can use them.
You're better at the focus thing than me.
And you can use them across like any stationery and repeatedly once they've been done once. So for example, so for example, they had it there, and then they had me like illustrate the disco ball, but the disco ball got used again and again and again. But they only had to pay once for it.
Because you've drawn it once.
I've drawn it once. And
that's so clever.
Copy it across,
yeah, the illustrations are absolutely gorgeous. They just have got that little extra touch of what they're having at the wedding. So on this one, I can see you've done mistletoe. Which I love, because that immediately is like, Christmas. And then like the little Polaroids, the sunglasses, the pizza, holly.
And then on the page that says about the venue and where to stay,
there's a
little illustration of the venue.
Of the venue, that's so nice.
So that was all included in that sort of the flat price, of like the doodles. So you get up to 20 and then just use them wherever you want.
That's so good. I love that. I've seen actually somebody did it as a tablecloth. So that was on
Sorry, I'm
TikTok.
just reading their dessert option.
Oh yeah.
Sicilian lemon cheesecake and mascarpone. Yes, please.
Yes, please. But that's the thing, those doodles, you can use them everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like the stars, especially like the little stars that we've got everywhere and the little musical notes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they were used across the big signs as well, just because they were just a little, and the disco ball again was used on the big signs.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it ties it all in then. And I really love how you've got that come for the love, stay for the party.
Yeah.
Because then when you open this as a guest, because I think as well, this is like your first little sneak peek into the wedding.
It sets the tone, doesn't it?
It's so exciting. Yeah. So then when you open that and see that, you know it's kind of a bit of a vibe.
Exactly.
Like we got a save the date recently for next year, and it's a magnet, and it's just like a cute little wooden rustic magnet. But that already completely sums up the couple. And, you know, I'm really excited for that, because it's like, actually, I can see that that's their vibe. And then the magnet's on the fridge now. Like,
well, it just shows they've thought about it as well. Like, they've decided that they want something that's there to remind you all the time. So it's like, please come to our wedding. Like, we want you there. Like, it just makes you feel a bit more special as a guest,
It does. Yeah, it's lovely. And do you think magnets are a good idea for Save the Dates?
I do think they are, yeah. I'm currently trying to figure out a way of doing them so I can have still a design of mine on there, but with maybe like a magnet stripping on the back. But it's current, so it's like if you say wanted one of my save the dates but maybe smaller, like one of the designs, how I would then put that onto a magnet more. So I'm currently like playing around with that and seeing what I think
might be coming soon.
Hopefully I've got a lot of things in my head that are like coming soon, and I'm like, when do I get time to do all this?
Brain dump.
So we've spoken about those kind of essential items for stationery. What about the things that people might not have thought about? So, you know, everyone knows we need an invite for a wedding, but what about other things that people might not have thought about?
Well, I'm going to talk about them coasters, because they've been
That's
so
what made me
popular.
Think about it. They're so good.
This was just another like excuse me to illustrate, because it's one of my favourite things to do.
So you drew these?
Yes.
Stop it.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
My God, you are so good.
They are literally amazing.
So there are different ways of like producing that type of illustration. Like I can do it by hand, or I can like edit the photo to look like that. Because they always send me reference photos of their pets.
Yeah.
And
I
then
want one of my dogs.
I know, me too.
Forget the kids, I want the dogs.
Yeah.
So there's sort of like the realistic version, which is obviously the one that you're holding up now, and then the other one's like a really digital version. Yeah. That was the first one I did, and that was
this reminds me of like a lino print. This one.
Yes.
The Labrador. Is.
Yeah. It's really just a certain effect that I used to play around with like years ago. So I just thought, oh, we'll do it, and it worked because he was a black lab. So it kind of, it worked for him. But yeah, they're sort of like an optional extra. But it's like people bringing their personality through.
Yeah, and bringing their dogs and pets into weddings. Yeah. So say if they can't have them there for venue restrictions or something, it's quite a nice little touch to.
And it actually says drinks on Cooper, and then it's got a drawing of Cooper. Yeah. And then it's got the bride and groom's name at the bottom. Yeah. So that's just perfect. Or this one, I love this one. Yeah. Drinks on Bertie and Flo, and then a picture of the dogs, and then it says "Wish we were there."
Yeah, you can have any text you wanted on those, because they could also be used as like like drinks toppers, so to make sure your drinks aren't taken when you're away from the table. So you could have whatever you wanted on there, really. But yeah, they're just a nice little touch, and I just noticed that people really wanted their pets there. But, or sometimes they were allowed for the ceremony, and then they had to go. Yeah. And obviously, people are getting like dog chaperones in now as well to look after their pets. Good. They are important to people, and they do. Yeah. They speak a lot about their stories.
It's
a couple.
Part of their family.
Yeah, it's part. It might be they might consider their dog as their child. So it's like it's having that member of the family there. So I do think they're a really nice touch to have, and they've been really popular recently.
And I've seen as well those giant faces of the dogs and the cats that
people
then
for the
have
evening.
On the dance floor.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, there was I've got like I call her a friend, but like internet friend. She's another stationer.
Oh, I love
Emily.
That. I have so many of them.
Yeah, same.
Instagram friends.
She uses me for like wax seals and stuff.
Yeah, nice.
But she's got a completely different style to me. But she's got 2 cats, and she got a massive cardboard cut out of like her tabby cat that she had like dotted around the venue. It was honestly so funny. So it just completely speaks to your personality. So.
But things like that, and that's like I had a couple this year who we played Mr. and Mrs. in their ceremony, because they've got 2 cats, Eggy and Bee. And Eggy, oh no, I've got to remember which way around now. Eggy's more like Suze, and Bee's more like Stee, I think. I'm sorry, guys, if I got that wrong. But basically, in the ceremony, we did a game of Mr. and Mrs. So I was like, right, who's most likely to have been practicing their first dance in the mirror? And they held up whichever cat they think was so whichever of the bride and groom. But they'd had them all done on stick. So then in the evening after the ceremony, I gathered them all up and put them by the photo booth, and then in the evening they got them all again and put them next to the dance floor.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And there's so many photos. They had Mark Horton as their photographer, and there's so many pictures he's taken in the evening of them all on the dance floor holding up the pictures of the cats.
No, it's just amazing to have that like just carefree attitude, but also like I say, it brings personality. Personality brings the fun. So I'd definitely like recommend them as an option.
Great. But, so coasters, anything else that you can think of, any other bits that people have ordered that you think they're not something that maybe everyone would think of, but they went down really well?
Maybe cocktail signs for the bar, like if you're having personalised cocktails, because I've got one down there. But
show us.
Show us.
We want to see it all.
So this is like again another semi-custom one. So if you wanted like your cocktails illustrated,
because people
like
are doing, this cool. Is cute. Yeah, because people are doing this loads, aren't they? Having their own cocktails and their favourite drinks.
Yes. So I think it's become a thing as well, like with the venue package as well, for on the day that they're offering the personalised cocktails. So they could just be like a standard recipe that they've got, but then they're calling them something else.
Yeah, that's like appropriate to them as the couple.
Yeah. So I think having them it's a fun little keepsake as well, I think, because they're small, like with them being A4.
Yeah, I would totally frame this and put this in my kitchen after.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
exactly. And so you could personalise them as heavily as you wanted. Like if you obviously, like I say, if you wanted your your name and your wedding date on there as well. Like I've got that at the bottom of that one. So yeah, they definitely could be a keepsake, but they're quite handy with them being wiped clean as well. So if on the bar, like
what are these made of? Because they're sturdy, but
really sturdy.
So it's Foamex, which is what I do the big signs with as well. So it's like a mix between foam board and acrylic plastic.
I need this for my wedding first.
I know. I'm just thinking, right
signage.
Message Steph.
Yeah,
we're getting in touch with so much stuff. This is great.
So yeah, they're just really handy. Like, say we do them in the A4, which is sort of the smallest size, and the handy tie they just have like on an easel or just propped up at the bar, so they're there for you to just reference all night. But like I say, great keepsake to take home. So not necessarily needed, but a really good addition.
Lovely touch. And I think as well with stationery, that's what's really nice if you're getting things that you're gonna keep and you're gonna have in your house. Like you know, if it's a sign, you then keep it and put it up in the kitchen or you know in the lounge or whatever. Like actually bringing that back through and you know not just chucking it away afterwards and things like this. You would I mean I would totally frame that. That's like the colour of my kitchen, so I would totally frame that.
Well, it's like yesterday I was talking to a couple and they were looking at, I've got a big like venue illustration on a big on a sign print. It's like a welcome sign, and they were like, I would absolutely frame that. And I'm like, it's A1, it's massive, like would you really frame it? And they were like, yeah, absolutely, like we'd want that somewhere. So I was a massive compliment for people to keep it.
What size that is? A1 just reminds me of the band in the 90s. Probably. You know, Ben with the curtains.
It's probably a little bit slimmer than your banner.
Oh my god!
And probably a bit shorter though. So like where the fringe starts, stop it there. So it's like
massive but amazing. Imagine having that on your wall. That's so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they're a really good touch. And the signage, well, it's essential, but I think there's some extras there like that just make it more of a keepsake to you, which might make it more of a worthwhile investment. If you get what I mean, if you are going to keep it and frame it. But
things that are keepsakes. And then what about in terms of like table plan? Have you seen anything that's a little bit unusual? Have you had any requests from couples that you've really loved and thought, yeah, that's going to go down really well?
So normally I do just get the foam X signs, but the designs vary so much. You know, whether we're bringing in illustration onto those, which just make them a little bit more fun, like you know, less classic or whatever. But like, there's one of my favourite seating plans I've ever done. It's quite a classic design. But it's for Claire and Adam, so if they ever listen to this, shout out to you because you're one of my favourite couples.
We love you, Claire and Adam.
They were amazing. They had like, they were having sort of long tables and then the top table as well. So they had this, you know, cute design that matched all the stations they had prior. And they'd had this bespoke floral painting that I'd done, this watercolour style. It was all these autumnal florals, like really bright oranges. So we had that just sort of decorating the edge. But then they planted it onto an antique mirror.
Oh, wow.
And had all these fairy lights around it. It was like, I'll show you a picture after. It was absolutely stunning. And I was like, it was such a classic seating plan, but it just looked so statement.
Yeah, the way they used
and
it.
the photo I got of it, I was like, I just look at it all the time. I'm like, can I have that on all of my promotional material now? It was so nice.
And the way that they then reused your beautiful imagery.
Yeah, they had it across everything because they were one of my first bespoke bookings when I first started. So they had save the dates, then had the invitations, then had all the on the day, and it all completely matched with those florals and copper foil. Was a good thing as well. It was very autumnal. But yeah, and then I think the most unique one, which it's one that I'm currently talking about someone with because I spoke to them like 2 weeks ago. On one of my displays for the wedding shows, I had these little disco balls that had little art-shaped cards on. They were like escort cards, so more like where you would come in, you'd pick up the bauble. And it had like obviously your name.
This is a real American thing. I feel
like
it's coming over. So it's like a seating plan, but basically you have like...
It's like a favour to take away, isn't it? Yeah.
But then it's got your name on it, and then you have to go find your seat at the table.
So it's like a sort of in-between option. Rather than having your seating plan and then go and find your card, you would pick up this favour that had your name on it with the table you were being sat on and then go over.
We did that. We did find your face to find your place. So the week before the wedding, I asked everyone to send me a selfie. They were all like, what the hell? And then we got them all printed off and put on luggage tags that we tied to old keys. And then we hung all the keys up, and then they had to find their face, and then it had on the back of it their table number.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's stuff like that. It's the escort card because it's becoming a little bit more
fancy.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called anyway. That's what I've been told it's called.
I like interactive.
It's more interactive because you're still looking for your seat, but then you still get something to take home with you.
That's so lovely.
But you could have anything, or it's like they could attach them to, let's say, a glass of prosecco on entrance. So it's not necessarily something they take home, but something they can consume and
that's so nice.
Use rather than just throwing away.
I like that.
But just adding my stationery to it rather than me actually creating the full favour. It's just that little added touch there. You know, just to wrap around. Kind of thing.
I think they do it in America because they have less like formal reception like we do.
Right, okay.
So rather than like a standard 3-course meal, they normally do more like grazing or like food stations, and then like you just go and sit wherever or
sort of like direct you to a table, but then you can sit wherever. So it's not like super rigid.
Yeah.
So I feel like people, like couples, are being more relaxed. They're kind of leaning into that a bit more.
Oh, absolutely. And just more something that's more interactive and a bit more fun. And then a question I just thought of, how late do you leave it to print the table plans? Because do you get loads of people having to change them all the time?
Well, I've just rolled my eyes because to be fair, I am quite strict with the deadline, because it's one of those that I want you to have it as close to time as possible, because obviously people drop out.
Changes,
but I don't want to have the panic of you not getting it.
Imagine, exactly.
Would you rather have it with somebody who's maybe not there, or somebody who might isn't on it, or something like that? I've definitely had it once though, where we sent it out about, I think it was like 3 weeks before the wedding, something like that. So it's not, not too bad really. No. And then somebody, like I think 2 people dropped out or something, and they replaced them with 2 people. So it was kind of a bit awkward, and I was like, right, I'm gonna have to see if I can get another one printed. But and they were fine about it, and they were happy to pay the difference. But
we did that. We had someone drop out, and then I said to one of my friend's newly partners at the time, who was coming to the evening, I was like, do you want to come to the day? I said, but you have to be able to eat this, and then now your name is this name. He's like, yeah, cool, thanks,
Steve.
Yeah.
You can come as long as you're vegan, Steve.
But it worked. He was fine.
That's so good. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I try and be as close to deadline as possible. I think also that's another reason why people are going a bit more relaxed with it as well, because it's like it's less hassle of having something formally printed and it's stuck then for a month or so.
Yeah. Whereas if you've got those individual things,
it's not as bad to replace 2.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
And then what about, when would you recommend people get their invites done so that they're ready to send out?
It fully depends on the type of wedding you're having. If you've got people coming from overseas and things like that, because you want people to get accommodation and stuff. Standard is usually like 4 to 5 months before your wedding is when you would send them out. But I've been going a little bit longer at the minute, just because people aren't doing save the date. So you'd rather get that information out there so people can definitely know they're coming. It also gives you time of having like a bit of a longer RSVP period to get people to respond to you, but then also having them done earlier so you can get everything sorted with the venue and stuff like that. So around that sort of time. But then in terms of booking in with me, if you were having something semi-custom, then you could get in contact with me like a month before you wanted to send them, and they'd be with you.
Wow, that's brilliant. And that's the good thing as well, that you have that semi-custom offer, because then it means that actually people, if they are last minute, it doesn't matter, it's still you're still gonna be able to help them out.
Exactly. So it's like, I'll give you an example though. It's like this set here, it's just black and white all the time, like the invitations in there as well, but that is one of the semi-custom ones, and you get the full package done within 2 to 3 weeks.
It is gorgeous. And for that to be semi-custom, it's brilliant. That's amazing. Isn't it? It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. You'd think that somebody had put that together and chosen it. Also, I like this as well. So when you open the invite,
the envelope liner,
in there, what's it called?
Envelope liner.
Oh, it's very fancy. I love it. But it's really nice that then when you open it, you've got that in there. And I love this one where they've got a little padlock with a heart on it and their date.
That's cute.
They've become really popular recently. They're one of my favourite things to put in, because it just breaks up that colour, especially if you're having all black. It's like there's just a little bit of contrast there. But people having like anything on there, like the illustrations that I do, like the painted ones, they can have really bold floral envelope liners, so they open it, it's like bam in your face.
It's gorgeous. That's so nice. I love Katie's checking out all the desserts.
I am.
Oh, it's fine. Read through. Honestly, the menus are one of my favourite things.
Slow cooked beef cheek and chocolate delice, banana, and peanut butter ice cream.
Oh, yum. I bet. Do you get really hungry? So you get emotional reading the vows, and you get hungry printing the menus.
Honestly, it's really funny. Every time I get a menu order, I'll go to my boyfriend and I'll just be like, right, can you rate this menu? And go through the whole thing, and he's like, 7 for the starter, 9 for the main, 6 for the dessert.
Pork last week.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it. And what's been your favourite thing? Like, what's been your favourite brief that you've been given, whether it be the item or the design?
Good question. I did really like this one. This was fun because it was nothing like what I'd done before. I hadn't I'd slightly gone a bit retro with the fonts on this one, which was like a year prior. But when they came to me and were like, we want these arches, want all this foil, I'm like,
yes. You can really go for it.
I knew that there was no limitation, which just meant that I could do whatever. was like, yeah, this is fun.
All the greenery.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
And it's been so popular. I love doing the doodles. I love doing all the illustration kind of things. So that was like my dream set, because it was like really sort of curated stationery, like with the arches and the shapes all telling a story and having that interactive element, which I love. But then the style of it, even though I probably wouldn't go for like a retro style, the illustration and just the way it came together just made me feel very fulfilled really cool. After it.
And what I really cool. Like about this one is the fact that because it's not just one page, there's so much info on here, but it looks so pretty. You don't open that and be like, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like literally you've got on here, so you've got the RSVP card, which is talking about, you know, RSVP, dietary requirements, children. It's got contacts for both of them.
Yeah.
And then the responses. But then on the next one, you've got literally a card just about the venue. So it's talking about ceremony time. Then it's got directions on there. It's got about if you want to get ready, you know, information like that. So good. Talking about card or contactless, like all that kind of thing. Like the fact that you've got all of that information.
All those annoying questions that
are answered,
you're gonna get. People are gonna answer you.
All in one place.
All the taxis are on there.
Yeah, I think like with that one, they, as far as I'm aware, they didn't send save the date, so they sent these out like a year in advance.
Yeah,
so it did have everything on there. And they weren't having a wedding website, which obviously has become quite a common thing when people aren't needing the details card as much because it's all on a website. For them. They weren't doing that, so they needed it in print format. And they'd done their due diligence when it comes to the venue, like, you know, asking all the questions that people might answer. They had an answer for everything. And I was at that venue yesterday, and I could tell that they're the type of people, like the people that were running it, that were like, yeah, we'll answer everything. This is all covered for you. Like, that's good. This is what you need to know.
Yeah, because that's a good point. What are the things that couples need to know when they're gonna order their stationery? What are the like essential things that you need?
So the basic is obviously, you know, you've got your venue booked, you've got your date, you need your ceremony time. You need to know if you're gonna have evening guests, the separate time for them to arrive as well. Directions to the venue if it's a bit off grid. Like even yesterday I got lost going to that venue, and I've known the address for about a year and I still got lost. So having that there is really good. Obviously your RSVP, you need to have a fixed date, and it needs to be something that's compatible with you and getting all your responses, but also compatible with your venue and letting them know all the dietary requirements and things like that. So
and I'd probably say, I don't know about you, Laura, like if they tell you need to have finals by like August, put like June, end of June.
Yeah,
because there's always someone that you're going to chase.
Don't push it, because you'll just be stressing yourself out too much. But I think any other extra details are completely up to you. It's, you know, you don't necessarily have to put accommodation options there. You can just let your guests do it themselves. If it's not that necessary. If you want to put anything about cards and gifts, that's completely up to you as well. Like if you're having like a honeymoon fund, that kind of thing. It's not necessary to have on your invitation, but if you want to put it there, then you can. And like I say, a lot of people are doing wedding websites now, so it's not necessary to have it on the invitation as much anymore.
But also lovely, because I mean, you get some older family members that would keep this and cherish this.
100%. And nice for them to have it. They might not want to go on a website. But also, do you get people that do both? So they'll send an invite and it's got, for all the information, go to our wedding website, because that's something you could do as well.
Yeah, I do. I definitely do have those. But I was just about to say then that I've done different packages for different members of the family. So like, if say you've got your grandparents and your older relatives and they want the full details and they want to be able to call you to say, we'd love to come to your wedding, that kind of thing, they might have an extra card on there that contacts them, but then the rest of them might just have the main card with a link or a QR code.
Cool.
Oh my god,
that's really good.
So
that's
cute.
That's a real good. I think that's a great compromise.
I do, because like you say, the older generation, even just some people that like that style, they actually might want to be the ones that pick up the phone. So that's so lovely that they've got that too. Such really a nice offering that you do that, Steph.
I'm very, very flexible with that kind of thing. So it's like, if you say you want a separate invitation for your evening guests, like there's no extra charge for having a different design. It's just in the overall quantity that basically I would quote it on. But if you want details cards for one, not the other, you want an RSVP, it's not a problem. That's
nice. And I guess as well, you could use some of the doodles from your invite on your wedding website if you want to tie them in together as well. I don't obviously make the wedding website, so it's completely up to them which format they use, and if that's something they can do to try and customize it to match.
I've not really had the request where I've had to match the website yet.
No, that's good. Invites first.
Yeah.
And do you think people need to have their colour scheme set before they get their invites, or does it not matter if they don't look exactly the same?
To me, just from a design perspective, I would want you to have that colour palette in place, because it means that then I've got room to manoeuvre when it comes to designing for you. And like, even if there's like a tonal change in the colour, it's not a big issue. Like the set that I was on about before, the autumnal one. So when they originally had the painting done, it was all burgundies and really bright oranges. But then as they got close to time, the bouquet changed and it was more blush pink than burgundy.
Oh, nice.
So I edited the painting that I did. So changed the burgundy to the pink.
Great.
But it didn't look too far apart because it was just that one change. So it was just the change basically from the saver dates to the invitations, but then the on the day was the same.
On the day was the same.
Yeah.
That's good.
I do think it's really handy to have that colour palette because it's a really good starting point for me. And even if you have no idea what you want, I can show you options just based on the colour palette, and then it's like you just know then what you're drawn to, whether it's the more relaxed style, the more classic, or whatever. It's just a really good starting point, and it makes it gives me an idea of what you're drawn to. And it's just easier for me to make recommendations.
And if a couple are having a stylist, do you need to be in contact with them so that you can make sure the signage matches the rest of the
I've
styling?
literally never been in contact with a
Really?
dresser. No, never. I think actually only once, and the only reason we got in contact was because they originally had decided they were having a sign from them, and then they changed their mind and wanted it from me because they wanted the format that I did. That was the only reason I've ever contacted them. Other than that, I actually have no idea if they contact their dresser with the stationery.
They probably do.
I would have thought so, because I think especially signage. Imagine if you're having a table plan from you that's like certain colours, you'd want the stylist to make sure that the flowers or plinths or whatever they're doing matches.
I honestly have absolutely no idea because I've never had to deal with that really. I mean, there was one that I did I think it was start of this year. They were having this sort of wildflower theme, but it was like peaches and sage green and whites, that kind of thing, for like a May wedding. Beautiful. So I'd spoken to them like well in advance, and they were like, and they obviously gave me like some ideas of colours, and then I created this painting with the flowers, and that all went to print, did it all on the day stuff as well. And then I got the pictures back, and I was like, they've actually matched that perfectly. Like, surely the dresser has seen it then, but it never came from me. So there must be some level of communication there, or whether I've had the information from the dresser but through the couple. I really don't know. But,
That's amazing. And I guess that's pretty much everything I need to know about stationery. I feel like it's blown my mind though. There's so much that I didn't even think about, and so many ideas and things like that. So it's been amazing.
Thank you. That's all our questions from us, but now it's time for Toss the Bouquet.
Oh yes, glamorous assistant Ridge, it is your big moment.
As if by magic.
You need like an outfit.
It does. We need to get a sparkly jacket.
Okay. This season's bouquet is sponsored by Cara Mia Venue Styling, bespoke venue styling that brings your love story to life.
Thank you, Cara
So
Mia.
just tucked in there should be a little snippet of paper from last week's guest.
Beautiful. Right, let's see if I can open this.
Oh yeah, let's have a look.
Okay. Oh, if your business had a theme song that played every time you arrived at a wedding, what would it be and why? This is like the best.
That is such a
this is going to be impossible. Best question, but impossible.
Oh, I love that. That's from Cotswold Canopy Co.
Yeah.
I wonder what theirs would be. Something to do with kids.
I'd love to know that as well. Oh my God, that is such a hard question. What is my favourite song?
Something that represents you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm such a big music nut on everything, but like I don't think my stationery like replicates what I listen to. So I'm I'd give something very off kilter, but
what are you thinking?
What, for me?
Yeah. Do you get like Taylor Swift vibes?
Oh, right.
So that's interesting. What if you were to look at that? What would you give me?
Yeah.
No, I think cooler than Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I would say, but then I'm not a Swiftie, so no offense to any Swifties listening, but I just think it's more.
I think the Val books are Swiftie vibes.
Yeah, the Val book. Yeah, they're quite whimsical,
but
quite beautiful.
This design with the disco balls,
this
like
is
more
like
like
fun.
Yeah.
This is more like Chapel Roan.
Yeah,
I feel like
I agree.
Pink Pony Club.
Yeah.
The pink pony colour just came to my head then. Or like Good Luck Babe, because I do like chapel.
Yes.
But yeah, I think I'm more like indie rock metal.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like honestly it would be really hard. Like,
but also I think because it is so eclectic, like there's just such a mix here that it's really hard to sum up the style.
I honestly think I'm gonna pick Arctic Monkeys Are You Mine, because I love that song. I think it's like the Are You Mine, like it's a bit like romantic wedding vibes, but it's like it's more me.
You as well, that's good.
And I honestly blasted that song so much.
I love it.
It was like my favourite song. So
yeah,
we'll go with that.
Good question.
I love that.
Wonderful. So this week's news, nuptial news.
What's going on?
According to data from Bridebook, midweek weddings, Monday to Thursdays, are now far more common in the UK. In particular, only 14% of couples say that they specifically want a Saturday date, and over 1 in 3 Gen Zs are choosing weekday weddings.
Yes, I'm so here for this. And actually, that makes perfect sense, because my 2026 is more weekdays than weekends. 2 of them are bank holiday Mondays, so I don't know if you can count them as a weekday or weekend because it's Monday. But actually, the rest of them, I'm getting Tuesdays for the first time. I'm getting a load of Thursdays, Wednesdays. I am absolutely here for it.
Yeah.
And I did loads of Monday weddings recently, and they've been so much fun.
Yeah, I do Thursday, Fridays quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think people are just trying to be a bit more budget conscious, maybe.
Yeah. I'm so here for it. I think weekday weddings are the one. That. And also then bolt it onto the weekend, so you have the weekend to recover
and party.
Or if you're having it on a Monday, you have the weekend to get ready, and it just makes it feel like a long weekend.
Yeah.
And trust me, your guests will party hard no matter what day
we'll appreciate it, because we're not working every weekend.
Yeah, we like that. Yes, please. Yeah, suppliers are here for it. Weekday weddings, please. But honestly, I do think it is definitely a thing.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
Love it.
More weekday weddings. We love them.
Do you want to do this week's wedding
whisper? Okay.
Is your throat okay?
It's all right. It's more the nose. I sound like I'm like this. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. I once went to a wedding, and after the ceremony, I saw that the bride was crying. It didn't seem like it was one of those I'm so happy cries, but I didn't want to pry. Oh no. Later in the day, I realised why. I looked round and had to do a double take. Another guest in white.
What?
No, surely it can't be. Yes, that's right. There was the mother of the groom, not only dressed in white, but dressed in a full wedding dress.
Stop.
A wedding dress. It was a vintage style, but 100% a wedding dress.
Oh, God. What is wrong with people?
Why? I'll never understand that.
No.
That is awful. But also it's embarrassing for you as the person. If you're going to do that, everyone's going to comment.
But everyone knows the rules, right? Like, the mother of the groom, just sort it out.
Mother of the groom, no excuse.
Yeah.
Like, in my opinion, no excuse.
But then I wonder if... I guess it depends on that relationship, because I saw both mums' outfits before our wedding, so my own and my husband's mum.
Yeah, I did too.
I'd seen both of them.
Yeah.
Whereas I guess if you're not that close, maybe you haven't seen it before to be able to vet it, because that's not going to happen to your own mum, because you're going to tell her you're not wearing that. So I guess with the mother of the groom, I don't know, but that's awful.
Trying to steal the show.
And the fact that it's saying that it was a vintage
Let's
style.
hope someone accidentally had a little red wine accident.
Yeah, that's
like suddenly pink.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That mother of the groom needs to book a renewal of vows so they can wear a wedding dress, not on their day. Definitely not. Well, Steph, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You've been amazing.
So much information.
Yeah, absolutely. So if people want to find out more about you, where can they? What do they need to look for?
Well, it's Stephanie Grace UK on all socials, and website stephanie-grace.co.uk for everything. Yeah.
Thanks for travelling. Safe
trip. Okay, thank you.